Okay, welcome back. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome into the Glow Show. We're going. Oh, it's cold. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. Good to see everyone. Happy Saturday to you. I planned on being on just a little bit earlier, but the internet said no. I'm not doing it. The internet was like, nope, not going to happen. It had other intentions for me. What's up, Gail? How are ya? How's it going, Gail? I can set that there. I don't need that up there. Set that there. All right, so we are making memorial marbles again. We're going to be doing a whole slew of different patterns and create junctions with it. So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. What's up, kitty cat? I know it's cat kitty, but I said kitty cat. How are you? What's up, Tim? Oh, man. No. Yeah, this is what I want. All right, first one of the night for the second run is going to be Dichro. What's up, J-Dub? How are you? Good to see you. How are you doing? Okay, we're coming through, and we're going to add a bunch of clear onto this Dichro strip. And make it look amazing. Okay, I got to do this side. This is the side that gets scary right here. If I do it wrong, I am going to completely ruin this piece of glass. And I do not want to ruin this piece of glass. It's looking okay. Hi, Lori. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, now you can hopefully see a little bit of color bouncing through that. How you doing, Lori? What's up, Red Squeak? Thank you. Have I ever melted copper? I've melted a couple pennies, but I don't like to do copper. I hear it's pretty toxic. So, doing okay, Lori. It's been a little rough one, but things are okay. Yeah, I hear melting copper can be a little toxic. So I'm going to stay away from that. I have melted a penny, though, just to see how fast I could demolish it. That was like 2 seconds. It melted the penny. It did not last long. All right, so we are working with a glass called dichroic, and it is a very shiny, sparkly glass. Almost looks like a galactic nebula when it's all done. Hey, Miss Vicious, how are you doing? Good to see you. Red Squeak, she's in a little rough spot right now. She's doing okay, but things have been rough, but doing okay. You melt copper every day at work? I bet. Can I make a baseball? I can make the baseball. It's the stitching that I have the hard time with. Getting the stitching to look really, really good. That's the only drawback to trying to make a baseball. All right, so we're going to do a little different here. We're going to put a really dark opaque blue on the back of this. And hopefully we get some nice color bouncing through it. I'm not surprised either, Red Squeak. That's what I was kind of thinking, but we'll find out soon enough. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of this blue. We're going to add it onto this marble. We're going to separate it. Then in this bowl here are ashes. Okay, there's a little bit of ash. And we're going to pick that ash up with the hot rod and incorporate it into the marble here. Ooh, that picked up a lot. I'm probably only going to need to do this once. Yeah, just needed once. That actually picked up a lot right on the first try. Okay, so we're going to melt all this color in. Right about there. Should be enough. We are making memorial marbles. So the marbles are like, I call them travel marbles. They're about like this. These little marbles. So they contain ash from people or pets in them normally. So this one happens to be a person. What's up? We are multi-streaming too, so we have TikTok and YouTube going at both same time. So if something doesn't seem right when I'm talking, that's why. When you were young, you made neon lights. That's pretty tough. Neon's really tough to mess with. I have a lot of respect for that. What's up, Callie? Hello, Vladimir. All right, we're going to bring this in. Like so. So that material that I just pushed this into is called graphite or carbon plate, graphite plate. And it's one of the few materials that glass will not stick to no matter what. I have no idea why you pinned that, Red Squeak. Thank you. Lori, thank you for the fireworks. Okay. So now we have a dark blue on the back. We have dichroic sparkle up in the front. The dark blue does contain the ash from the person in this one. So there is ash from a person in this particular piece. Need a little punty rod here. Can you be a mod, please? I'm pretty good on mods right now, but thank you. All right, here we go. Gonna attach that there. And let it settle. Then we're gonna put a big window in here. What do I make, if you don't mind me asking? Right now I'm making memorial marbles. So this is a marble that contains ash from a person in it. So it can be people or pets in here. It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically one or the other. And pets are pretty broad. I do a lot of dogs and cats, but I've done bullfrogs, horses. What else was there? Bullfrog, horses, pigs, birds. Pretty much any pet you can think of I have done, probably. But the bullfrog was probably the craziest one. I don't know, Red Squeak. No, not yet, Red Squeak. It's okay, though. You can hang there, Red Squeak. It's all good. Yeah, that's one of the things we specialize in is memorial glass. What does this run, money-wise? What are you asking for? Like, how much does it cost to build a setup? Like, how much is to get started glass blowing? Or are you talking about the items themselves? All right, so we're adding a little bit of clear onto this. And we're going to start shaping it out. So it's not quite a marble yet. We're going to get it there, though. We're going to use that graphite and start shaping it into a little bit of a marble. Talia, thank you for the happy poop. All right, that's a good one. There we go. All right, we're going to start getting this into a round shape. How much for 4 rings and a 4? I have no idea. Unknown. That probably wouldn't be something I would do. There's a specific glass artist I would refer you to for that. She's pretty awesome. And that would be right up her alley. All right, so we are getting this super round. It's actually coming out pretty... It's uneventful right now. I like it. It's not giving me any hassles. Okay, I think we're looking good. So this is going to sparkle. The front of this on the inside that contains the dichroic glass is a very shiny, sparkly glass, but right now it is cooling off, so the color is not quite showing up just yet. I'm going to give it a minute. Hopefully I can show it to you and you see a little bit of color bouncing through it. If I'm lucky. We'll see if we can use a flashlight on it. Sometimes this will work, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe you can see a little color bouncing through it. There's definitely color there. But yeah, it's very sparkly. But this one in particular, I'm going to change. I'm going to do a little bit of a little ghosty pattern on it. We're going to add a little bit of a transparent color. It's called amber purple. It's very transparent at the moment. But when it starts doing its thing, it goes like an amber color with a hint of purple, which is actually quite awesome. So we're going to add some dots here all the way around. We're going to create this little bit of a paisley pattern in it. Actually, I'm going to go a couple more dots all the way around. I really want to get this looking good. We're going to bring it all the way through. There. That should be good. I got to set that one off to the side because you never can tell. So hopefully you can see those dots riding around the outer edge up here. Can you do a glass soda bottle neck bent around a glass? No, I cannot do that, Norm. All right, so the main thing is we're going to heat all those dots up right now. And then when they get super hot, I'm going to grab this rod. I'm going to stick it right on the center one. And we're going to spin it around. And it's going to create this little paisley pattern in the marble. There we go. All right, next step is we're going to come in and heat it up a little. Hopefully you'll see a little bit of this color starting to pop out. It's going to be fun. Keep your eye on that front. Again, we have no color looking to it, like no interaction with it. But by the time I get done with this, you will start to see some pattern in there. it magically appears. And I can definitely see the pattern. It created a nice little paisley spiral. All right, let's melt this out. Bring it all the way around. And then to really refine the marbles, you go to the smaller circles. So you don't want the marble to actually fit into the mold. You want it to ride around the outer edge of it. And I think we're good right there. So I still have to refine this back end back here where this rod's attached because it's a tiny bit off. Quite round. It's roundish, just not round. It would not roll straight, let me put it that way. So we're going to create a tiny little punty here. Burn this other end off. Pull that down. And then I got to bring this out here, and we're going to remove this little nipple on the end here. There we go. Thank you. Level Up Sparks, Miss V. How are ya? And we're going to melt that little nipple dipple in there. Bring it over here. And there, it's spinning super smooth. I know that there's a good roundness to it now. There's no issues. It's pretty stable. Hopefully you can see this pattern that I have on the very end of this marble. I have to angle it this way. Thank you, Miss V. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that pattern happening in there. It's a very, very faint pattern, and that's what I wanted. I did not want it overpowering the item. So we're going to take this and separate it, tap that off. Maybe you can see it this way. A little bit of it right there. Then we're going to smooth that little spot up with a flame. And now you can definitely see it starting to form and come out and play. Yeah, now it's starting to come out. Now it's doing its thing. I'm going to let it cool off for just a second. We're going to hit it with the flame one more time, see if we can get it to come out just a little bit more. So every time I heat this up and cool it off, the color comes into a better, like, saturation. But now you're starting to see it come through. In the end, this thing will be really pretty. It'll have this very, very dark, I'll show you what it looks like, pattern to it. On the end of this rod here is the amber purple. You can see that little swatch of amber purple right there. And that's the color that will eventually be. And that's the goal. So Don, you need sunglasses for doing... I don't even understand your question. That's like probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it is personal protection. It's also a filter. So I will answer your question. So if I bring this in the flame, you can see how dark or how bright that flame is. Now this is the same material that my glasses is made out of, right here. I do have an extra shade on top of it, but once I drop this in front of the flame, it changes that whole pattern. See? Now I can see into the fire. See? So yes, I have to wear dark glasses. Yeah, we are making memorial marbles. So these marbles contain ash, which is located in this container here from a person. All right, we're gonna make a marble off of tubing. We're gonna do a tubing marble. Bet you didn't know you could do that, right? I know, right, Wasabi? And we're gonna drop this in. Oh, damn it. Little sharp edge on the end of that tube. All right, so we're going to separate this tube. We're going to fire some color on the inside of the tube. So we're going to bring this all the way down. And separate it here. We're going to remove the excess off the end of this and give it a little pop like that. And now we have a hole on the inside. Open it up a little bit. Okay, for this next step, I do have to seal the end of this blow tube off right there. Then we got to preheat this. So the next step is I'm going to be firing pure gold inside the tube. I'm going to be firing gold in there. Wasabi, thank you very much. So there's tiny little chunks of gold that you can use to fire it into the tube, and it changes the color completely. And that is what I'm going to be doing here. Let me grab my gold. There. So on the end of this rod here, it kind of looks like a golf club. There is a tiny little nugget about the size of sea salt of gold. So get a good look at it. It's all clear. We're going to fire the gold on the inside of the tube. So you got to be careful with this. Because if you miss, yeah, the flame will hit your hand. So now we're going to fire that all the way on the inside. I actually changed this flame a little bit there. It needs to be a little thinner. Wow, this flame has just given me a problem and a half tonight. Definitely tell the weather has changed. And a little bit more oxygen. And we're going to fire that color all the way in. Oh, that's going to work beautiful there. That's what I'm getting at right there. part that back in the tin. And now you can see we added gold. Notice how shiny the glass is now. That actually fired pure gold in there, changed the coloring, made it into a metallic. There, pop that off. We need to open it up. So there, yeah, we got a very shiny version of glass now. Gonna preheat it again. All the way through. And then we're going to take this tube and completely flatten it. We're going to push all the air out of it. A few seconds here, it's getting pretty wobbly. You're going to bring it over and smush. So there, now we pushed all the air out of that section. You can definitely see it's definitely metallic-y right there. And next step is we got to cut the ends off. So on the end here, there's a little scraggle of glass. So we're going to take our scissors, we're going to slice off a chunk of this, clean it up. It's always pretty satisfying to cut that glass. Yeah, I try to tell all the steps. I like going through it. I think it's important to share what's happening in the live stream. I'm not trying to teach people how to glass blow. I just like explaining what is going on. Okay, so now we got that metallic-y section there. We're going to punty up to the other side. And we're going to cut the other end off. So this is one way of applying color that is fantastic. That. So we're going to burn this off. Should be able to start pulling it off now. There we go. Then we got this little monkey butt end back here. Try to get rid of it. Take the little molten core hoop right there and put it in there. All right, I think we're good. Now we've got no air trapped in that piece. The gold is trapped in the middle. And we're going to come through and we're going to start turning this into a little marble. $420 enough. Pookie. Well, if you got to go poop, 420. You don't have to announce it to everybody. Good night, Callie. Have a good one. All right, we're going to pop it here. And top this off. Break that off right there. Yeah, I didn't use placer gold. I used Canadian maple leaf. I don't like placer gold. It's good for some stuff, but not the color I wanted to achieve. All right, so we're going to take this here, and then we're going to fold it back together. We're going to push it in, create a little spiral in here. You have to flatten it out just a tiny bit. So we're going to compress this whole thing together, and it should create a little bit of a spiral inside this glass, and it will be air bubble free. And here we go. Have to take it very slow so I don't trap any air with the folds here. Definitely don't want to trap a bunch of air in the fold after I spent all that time getting rid of it in the tube. Right there. So I'm going to let it cool off for a second. You're going to be able to see the absolute little spiral of gold in there now. You can start to see it forming up in there. So now all that golden color is looping around on the inside. Like that. Yeah, I have a second camera available, but yeah. The filter doesn't work as good as you would think. It's not very good on there from a distance. What's up, Irish Green? Okay, there we are. We're going to grab that. Now I'm going to finish this end off, and we'll definitely catch a good glimpse of that spiral. We'll use the flashlight, kind of show it off so you can see exactly what it looks like. I have to melt this again very slow. I don't want to trap any air. All right, we should be good there. Now I just have to round this off a little. So we'll be adding color and cremains in here next. And with any luck, it'll come out like the one we did just a little while ago, earlier today. That one came out absolutely amazing. So I'm going to bring this out. Hopefully you can catch a little glimpse of the spiral in there running through. Hopefully you get a little glimpse of it busting through it. I think it looks good. It's actually pretty solid. All right, next step, we're going to use that amber purple on one end of it. So the spiral will basically be in the middle of the marble. No, we're not doing Christmas ornaments. We are doing memorial art glass. So this contains ash from, this one happens to be a person. So this is the memorial marbles. The marbles you see sitting in front of me are versions of the marbles that I'm making. And they, all of them but two do contain the ash from this person in it too. There's two marbles there that are just there for pattern, but the rest of them are functional with cremains. Okay, so we're going to add that amber purple there. And then we're going to add a big chunk of clear at the very end of this. Then we'll start shaping it. Bring it down. There we are. So this is enveloping a large chunk of clear onto the end. We're going to kind of mushroom that down. So it will create a little bit of like a mushroom cap. So right about there. All right, so that we got the spiral in the middle, we got this part here. We're going to bring this down. Turbo, thank you. Thank you for the 1,000, Jules. Is it Turbo or Urbo? Turbo, like, I'm sorry, I messed it up. Callie, thank you for the 1,000 jewels. The trophy cape. Okay, so we got to bring this down. I want it to kind of fall onto the other part of this marble where the spiral is. So we're just going to let it gravity drip down. While I'm doing this, I'll show you the filter again so you can definitely see what I see. So you can definitely see how the flame changes. We use a little smaller flame. It gives it a little more perspective. That versus that. Okay, so I got that end all rounded up. Oh man, this looks really good. So happy with it. Then we're going to bring it over to this part of the mold and just shape it a little bit. Like that. So the next step will be attaching a rod to the end of this, and then we're going to work the other end of the marble. Yeah, this is a marble, and Wandering, thank you so much. Thank you for the latte. So this is a memorial marble, means it contains ash from a person in it. This currently does not have the ash in it. We are about to add the cremains into this marble. So we're going to be adding in the cremains here in a minute. So we got to work this end now. I'm going to separate it here. And set that down where I know I can get to it again. I'm trying to debate on, yeah, I think we're going to do the shimmer color. So this is a very shimmery glass. By the way, this is the melted snowman we did last night. So we did the melted snowman head. I kind of dig it. It definitely has that melted snowman look to it. I thought I'd bring it out so everybody could see it from last night. Yeah, I like it. Came out cool. All right, let's add the ash in here. Okay, we're going to pick this up with this rod right here that I'm tapping. I'm going to bring it over to the ash and just pick it up a little. You can see just a tiny bit hanging in there. I'm going to mix it in. Okay, I'm going to grab a little more. Like that. Bring it and mix it in. Like that. Set that off to the side, and then we're going to mix all of that in really well. Right now, it's not very clean at the moment. It is a little bit of a mess. What's up, Daisy Girl? Yeah, it is a little bit of a mess at the moment. Okay, we're going to topple this here, mix it all together. And then we're going to add the clear. Now that color I just added is a very shimmery. That's the only word I can describe, is it has a shimmer. It's almost like the light glistening off a lake or the water. It definitely has a shimmer to it. Okay, and we're going to gravity feed it this way, drip it down. Like that. So far, we got a BB-8. If you are a Star Wars fan, you know we got a BB-8 at the moment. We're not going to leave it that way, though. This is going to be a marble. Right now, it looks like BB-8. So next step is to kind of drip everything in. Then we're going to get it round. We will be using this mold down here to shape it. That mold is made out of graphite. It is one of a few materials that does not stick to glass. So graphite and tungsten do not stick to glass. They are immune from fusing with it. And we're melting it all down now. And in the very middle of this, we will have a beautiful little spiral of gold, which will inevitably be pink. All right, so we're getting the shape going. We're just about able to go into the mold and start getting the piece really, really round. There we go. So we're just heating it all up here. Bring it back over. There's a little gap in the middle I'm trying to remove. Not a big deal, just a little gap. Go to the smaller mold here, help push it along. All right, I think we're pretty much done with half of it. We'll reverse the holding rod to the other side and finish this marble up, and this one will be done. Oh, the gap's gone now. Cool, that worked. All right, I think we're looking good. All right, I got to let it settle for a second before we do too much. So as it's settling, I will show you the color bouncing through it. See how it's kind of shimmering already? It looks like liquid metal. I don't know if you can see how liquidy that glass looks. It definitely looks like liquid metal in there. Like a little Terminator 2. metallic-y. How much does it cost to keep that fire going? It's not expensive at all. I only go through about 2.5 gallons or 1.5 gallons of propane a day. I do not burn a lot of gas. It looks like it, but I don't. I think so, Miss Vicious. I think it looks good. And then we got the amber purple on the other side now. It's starting to take effect. So this is just a tiny little punty holding rod right there. We're going to burn this off. We're going to be left with a little bit of a nipple on it. We're going to burn that in. Then use a special set of tools to hold the marble and finish it off. Actually, I need to remove that. It's not looking good. That little dimple right there is ugly. So you can see there's a little tiny bump right at the end. Miss Vicious, I appreciate you. Okay, so here we go. We're going to bring it through. Got rid of that little bump. Finish it up right there. And one more over here. Yeah, there's not much left to do to this. It's good to go. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I don't see any hiccups with it. So we're going to let it cool for a minute and I can show you exactly where we're at. Wandering Brian, thank you for becoming a spark. I appreciate you. Dang, it's all good. Don't worry about it. All good. I know, it kind of looks like the final scene of T-1000. That's what I was saying, like liquid metal. It really does have that effect to it. I'm letting it cool for a second so you can see the end result a little bit. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Honestly, it looks really good. I am not disappointed with it. The thing is, if I do one of these marbles and I am disappointed with it and I need to remake it, I can't throw it away because it has cremains in it. So I do have to figure out a way to fix it or change it to something different. All right, now that I detached that rod, we have to smooth out the little tiny spot that it was attached to, which is right there. Gonna bring it out. There's the liquid metal side, amber purple side, and in the middle are those little spirals. I'm gonna try and bring the flashlight out. This will definitely, watch this right here. See that amber? Watch. Boom. Hopefully you can see the purple effect in there. I don't know if y'all can see that purpley effect going on. It looks stunning. There. Then there's the liquid metal side. And in the middle. Yeah, this looks badass, actually. Oh! Look at that blue. Now you can see it. Look at that blue. Holy crap, it looks good. Sometimes they just come out really good. All right, I got to do a quick repair. And it's either going to blow up or it's going to fix. So you get to be along for the ride. This was the little guy we did last night. It's kind of like a Nightmare Before Christmas. And he cracked. And chasing the crack right now. I'm not sure about this piece. I'm not sure. Grab it this way. So that's it there. It just has this weird kind of snowman, Nightmare Before Christmas kind of look to it. I think I got the crack out though. It's just a tiny one. All right. So, yeah, that kind of came out okay. We'll see in the end what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to try yeah, that was definitely Tim Burton style. Yeah, that was the main goal behind it. Okay, we're going to do the next marble. We're going to focus this one on a lot of white. And then we're going to add the amber purple to the outer side, the outsides of it. And it's going to give it a tie-dye effect. Like a tie-dye t-shirt. So that's what we are shooting for on this next one. So first things first, we got to get this white all bunched up. This particular glass rod likes to crack a lot. It's nothing wrong with it, it's just the way it's manufactured. So these little square rods, or rectangle, whatever you want to call them, they're made different. They don't go into a big glass furnace where they're melted. They are actually in a powder form, a very, very fine powder of glass. And then they put them in these molds in a super kiln. I call it a super kiln. And they superheat the glass up to I think it's 3,800 degrees or so. And all the powdery material fuses together and creates these little glass rods. The problem with it is a lot of these glass rods have air pockets because the powder didn't compress well enough. And you end up with little air pockets in the glass, and then it pops, it shatters when you go to make it. All right, so we're going to dip this in the ash real quick. This will definitely be visible. Right there. You can see the ash at the very end there. Like that. Little tiny bits of cremains in there. Then we're going to come over here, add the second one, trapping those cremains in there. Callie! Thank you for the high five. No, these are not the glow-in-the-dark glass little rods. These is just white. There we go. And we're going to push that in now. So the ash is actually trapped in the middle. And we're going to push this one together. Just a little bit of pushing right there, and now all the ash is trapped in there. This one, the cremains won't be too visible. and that's okay. Okay, we're actually going to add one more of these glass rods on here. Need it just a tiny bit bigger. Oh, see it popped? Remember I was talking about that? That's what it did right there. That was the effect that happens. Yeah, these are short little glass mini. I wish they made these a lot bigger because this particular white is a great color. But the way they process it, they don't make them any bigger. I really wish they did. Pull that chunk off. All right, now we're going to have some fun. I don't know who's up there. So now we're going to have some fun. We're going to pop this amber purple on here. We're going to spin it around. Then we're going to use a clear glass rod, and we're going to finger paint it, creating a tie-dye effect on top of the white. It will stand out really well when it's done. But we're going to use a darker version of this amber purple. This is double amber purple. And it's going to create a lot more color into it. So this is it here. It looks kind of black right now, but it's going to look really good. It's going to look fantastic. Here we go. So we got to grab it here and spin it around. Yeah, semi-okay. Just in a lot of pain, Miss B. Just having a tough time. All right, so now we have all that color spun around there. And we're going to take a clear rod. This is by far one of my favorite things to do with the glass. We're going to finger paint it. Where can you find one of these torches? There are several places. Buy it directly from the manufacturer, though. It's called Glass Torch Technologies. This one will only set you back $4,400. All right, let's go. So right now we are taking all those clear lines and finger painting. I love finger painting. So we're going to set this down, and you're going to see the total difference here. The piece on the ceiling, yeah, that's just kind of my fun little funky monkey chunky octopus looking thing. All right, so we're going to bring it out. Now, I left this end kind of untouched, and this one up here is all finger painted. You're going to see the total difference. You'll see why I love this. I absolutely love this process. It takes a minute, though. Now you can see all of it creating that tie-dye effect versus down here. It just looks cool as hell, and that color is going to get much, much, much brighter. I have watched the show on Netflix, correct? Yes. I sure have. Okay, now we're going to punt you to this other side. Wow, look how dark it got. I meant to do that. Look how dark it got now. Remember I said it was going to look like tie-dye? Look at it now. I told you, it's going to look awesome. So we're going to grab it here, and I got to do the same thing to this side now. Yeah, this one looks really good. I love, love, love this. This pattern is my absolute 100% favorite style. After we do this one, we're going to do it with the metallic-y glass, the liquid metal, and probably this amber purple again. What do you think of the show? I mean, it's okay. I mean, it brings a lot of attention to the glass community, but, you know, can I spot things in it that are scripted or staged? Yeah, for sure. I think. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's a good show. It brings a lot of attention to the glass community. So that I'm not going to knock it. I mean, it just does. It does what it's supposed to do. I think it's great. Was the pool table light you made blown ornaments like they did? It was definitely blown ornaments, but I did it on this system. Yeah, it definitely is dramatized for sure. It's like anything. What's up, baby doll? Okay, so now we have to make it into a marble. You can buy my work. Yep. Click on somewhere in my bio here, click on my profile for YouTube, and there'll be a link to my Etsy store, I believe. If not, you can send me a message at starrynightglass.com and starrynightglass@gmail.com. What's up from Argentina, Nelson? How are you? Welcome to the Glow Show. It is a little hot. It's a little chilly. You guys want to see something amazing, though? So this torch is extremely safe. Watch. How many torches can you do that with? What's up, Wood Tiger? How you doing? Radneck, how are ya? Yeah, not many things you can do that with. Actually, it feels good right now because it's cold as hell. All right, so we got half a marble done. So is it the torch or is it my hands that can handle that? No water. What's cooling it? The oxygen is cooling it. The oxygen itself is cooling the torch. It is basically cooling itself down. All right, now we got to make this thing into half a marble. So this particular torch is called a surface mix. And what makes it special is the gases are converging as they exit the front of the torch. So like a welding torch, the gases are mixing in the chamber. This one, they're not mixing till they exit the ports. So there's a port and then another port outside of it and then another port on the outside of that. So it's 1, 2, 3 inside of each other. And this one has 54 separate chambers to it. But as they come out and they mix, they converge up here, and this is the hot spot where I'm up here. But the main thing is that outer port is a secondary oxygen valve, And that secondary oxygen valve also cools the chamber of the torch. It's actually ice cold. I should get one of those thermal imagers, like a little reader. Actually, let me see if I can do that. I think I can do it. Sorry, I can't do it on TikTok, but YouTube I can throw a thermal cam on for a second. I'm not going to do it for very long, but I can throw a thermal cam on. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss V. Yeah, you just probably have to type out Starry Night Glass Art at Gmail or something. Thank you, Miss V. Yeah, they're filtering a lot on TikTok. I'm getting very frustrated with what they're doing on TikTok. All right, let's see here. All right, I gotta click this. Okay. Are you gonna do it? No. Which camera is it? All right, there we go. What? All right, there. There. Oh, I got you, Miss V. I have to restore your privileges on there. You should see it by the end of the night. I had to do some modifications. Yeah, I got you, Miss V. So that is the thermal cam. There. I am not on. I have a Twitch account. I am not officially on Twitch right now. Oh, crap. I did that too. Ah! There. I have to make sure the flame is all good. So there is the marble coming into effect. Now the interesting part will be, see that white section there, how it's all white? By the time I get done with that white section will be colored up like that brownish amber. It's not really thermal, no, but it looks cool. It gives a little effect for it. Just a cool filter. Thank you, Miss V. All right, so here we go. We're going to separate this. And all right, remember I said, here goes the white section. We're going to polish out that spot that it was attached. Right? See, a little bit of color came through. We're going to let it sit for a second. And then we're going to heat it up a little bit more. And get a little color bouncing through it again. And then we're going to heat it up again. And as I continue to do that, it will get darker and darker and darker. But I don't want to mess with it too much. I want to get on to the next marble. So we're going to put this one away and do the next one. So this customer ordered 40 of these marbles. I'm pretty much almost done with them all. But yeah, they ordered 40 of them. So it's been a little bit of a chore. All right, let me do it this way. Grab this here, put that there. Okay, let's push these together. We're going to do the shimmery glass on this with the amber purple that we just used, and it's going to create that kind of wild tie-dye with a metallic. Yeah, I adjust the flame down below with a foot pedal. I have 2 foot pedals. So this one controls my middle flame. Okay, So this is my basic flame right here, my center fire. Then we have a middle flame. This is my middle fire, and then this is my full bore outer fire, my outer flame. Actually, I'm gonna leave that on for a minute. It feels good. It's cold. So that is as big as my torch gets. Yeah, well, the 40 travel marbles, so as a memorial, there are 4 siblings. So each of the siblings is getting 10 of the marbles. So that's why there's 40 being done. Kelly, thank you for the party hat. How much gas does it have? It depends on how many burritos it ate. All right, we're going to attach it here. Now, I have a 140-gallon propane tank, and I use liquid oxygen. Can you overheat the glass? There are like 2 or 3 colors you can overheat, but no, not generally, no. All right, we're going to dip it into the asher. Ooh, that picked up a lot. So that is the cremains. This is the asher cremains in there. Oh, that's frit. That's called frit, F-R-I-T. That is ground up glass. No burnt glass. The cadmium colors you can burn up for sure, but that's the only glass I've ever encountered that burns up per se. If you're not careful with it. Okay, so we're going to add a lot of this white. We're basically mixing all those ashes in there now too. Using hydrogen, yeah. Hydrogen is definitely a hell of a lot hotter. Yeah, I'm doing ashes tonight. Yeah, we are doing Memorial Marbles Travel. The nice thing about this is they are the travel ones, and I have carte blanche to make whatever colors I want to do. So we are going bananas making some cool combos here. Let it settle. I'm going to melt this in a little bit, and then we're going to start adding the 2 colors. How's everybody doing on Saturday? Y'all doing good? Having fun? I hope so. All right, so we're going to separate this. First color we're going to put on is the shimmer. Do I know anything about the person that passed away? I do. But I don't have permission to share it online. Do I only do mark? No, I do all kinds of stuff, Austin. A lot of different items. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to spiral this color around. Now, on top of the white, it will make it stand out really, really, really good. Did you see that little bit fly? That was kind of crazy. I should get an HHO toad. I like this torch. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't want to change. I'm good. Thank you, though. We're going to use the double amber purple. Yeah, there's ashes in these, correct. I'm sorry, Miss V. Let's make it better for you. Everybody on TikTok, give Miss V, Miss Vicious, a happy hello. Send her a happy hello. She's an awesome lady right there. Everybody on TikTok, say hi. Do I do functional glass? Very limited amount. Very, very limited. And the only functional I make glows in the dark. So I only make glow in the dark. See, Miss B, I bring you happiness. I got you. Is that lava? No, not quite. Not quite lava. Although I have melted obsidian. That was actually a cool... You know what? I don't have any obsidian. Type 1 in the chat if you want me to melt some obsidian sometime. Like the stone, the rock. And we'll make something out of it. Just type 1 in the chat if you want me to attempt melting obsidian. All right, so we got all these colors bouncing through. Because I will do it. I'll get some obsidian and we will melt the hell out of that stuff. Remember Game of Thrones? They called it dragon ice or something? Yeah, we'll make a little dagger out of it. We'll do a little obsidian dagger or something. Yeah, well, all right, I'll order it. I'll order some obsidian. We'll melt the hell out of it. Yeah, we'll do it. Because I can do that. All right, so we got all the colors here. We're going to do that finger painting method. And we're going to blend it all up. So this part is my absolute favorite thing on the planet to do. One of them with this glass, and that is literally 3,000 degree finger painting. This is finger painting with 3,000 degrees. So we just come around and swirl and twirl. And now we have, you can find my work at starrynightglassart.com. Do I do any Puffco? No, I don't do any Puffco. Look at that. We got all those. Remember I said it was finger painting? It looks fucking fantastic. So look at that. Can you see the colors? Oh man, I wish this thing would show better. You can definitely see the colors bouncing through. It looks beautiful. Mib, thank you so much for the jewels. Is it lava? Nope, not quite. All right, time to round this out. And then we're going to finish the other side the same exact way. So here we go. All right, so we got a good portion of that done. We still have to do that end right there. Could I make some candy cane coffee stirs? Yeah, that I could actually do. Yeah, all the marbles tonight are memorials, yes. Yeah, we could definitely do candy cane stirs. Actually, that's a great idea. Now I want one for myself. Candy cane coffee stir. That would be cool. You ever blown it? Yes, I certainly did. Yeah, fuming with a, I'm assuming that you're talking about going for a premix. I can definitely fume with a premix. I have some ancient torches. Ever burnt my fingers by accident? Tiny little bit, nothing bad. The only thing I ever really hurt doing this job is my ego. Every time I fail at something, it's like, oh man, I suck. That's about it. That's the only thing that gets hurt. When I try something that I really want to make and it just sucks, and you get frustrated because it doesn't turn out. Yeah, that's the fight of a lifetime right there. Even after this many years. But you just kind of look at it and say, okay, that sucked. Time to get back on the horse and ride it out. All right, this is fully encased. I think it looks good. I know it is real talk. That's what I'm saying. That's the one thing that sucks. I can't tell you how hard it is. You spend a lot of time trying to put something together and then all of a sudden it just cracks, or you get done the next day, you look at it and you're like, that doesn't look as good as I thought it was. But that is part of the job. Those are definitely parts of the job. And if you can't handle that, it's not a job for you. But that is the truth. I mean, not everything's going to turn out. I can't stand it when glassblowers say, I can make anything. When you say, what do you make? And they go, anything? I'm like, really? All right, I'll put you to the test. But I'll show you one item that I did that I was really worried about, and I finished, and I thought it was going to suck. And then the next day I was like, wow, it came out good. And that is my dagger that I made. I don't think I told anybody the story about making the dagger. So I did the dragon dagger, and I put it together the next day. I built the two halves. And when I put it together, I was very unhappy with it. But I put it in the kiln anyway, and then the next day I went and looked at it, and it looked good. But when I first put it in the kiln, I was debating on throwing it away. I was so mad at it. Okay, so this one is super round. Just got to switch punties here and get the other end nice and round, and this one will be done. Yeah, we got some good color bouncing through here. So this has the liquid metal, the amber purple, all underneath a white. No. I guess Siri thought I would. No. I woke my watch up. Okay. So we're going to round this out, and then I'll show you the piece that I did that I was almost threw away. This was a piece I almost threw away. And when you see it, if you have not seen it, you will understand. Oh, that looks good. get so excited when some of this stuff turns out. I've not done this color pattern in a marble before. It looks really good. It's definitely a keeper. I almost threw the dagger away. Yep. I don't think I told that story. Yeah, so when I built the dagger, I built the hilt and the blade, 2 halves, and then I let them cool down. And I lined it up the next day, and I said, okay, they look good together. So I preheated the whole thing, and I assembled it. And after I assembled it, it looked different to me. The blade looked way too short. So I almost took it and threw it away. All right, so we got that. We're going to smooth it out. Wow, this marble looks really good. This one has this really cool effect to it. I hope you all can see that really neat looking ambery shimmer liquid metal. There, that's a little less light on it. I think it looks good. So yeah, this piece I almost threw away. This was the one that I almost tossed in the trash. So the way I built this was I built the blade separate here, and the hilt from this part up was also separate. And they were in 2 halves together. No, I didn't make the tongs. If you want those tongs, contact Dragonfly Creation or contact me and I'll give her your info. So yeah, I had it separate and I put it together. But when I put it together, I had this little cave in here. So this is meant to be able to put your finger right in there, that little gap. So your finger can ride like that. But when I assembled it, I didn't like the way it looked. It looked absolutely weird when it was hot. So, but I did put it in the kiln, and I'm glad I kept it. It looked good after I pulled it out. But yeah, I almost threw that one away. Okay, what time is it? Yep, it is time for me to call it a night. I thank you all for hanging with me. But yeah, it is time for me to go take care of the family. And I definitely want to be on a lot tomorrow. I have a lot more stuff to get done. So hit the subscribe and follow button if you want to hang out with me tomorrow. And yeah, come hang out. We'll have some fun. I appreciate everybody for hanging with me. Every night that you are on with me, it makes my night a hell of a lot better. I love live streaming with all of you. You make my night a lot better. All right, TikTok. You all have a good night. And we are signed off TikTok. YouTube. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for hanging with me.